rolling into the water box what the car was going to do. I had zero confidence it was even going to leave the starting line. We'd been fighting troubles. I thought the stator was rolled over, something stupid. And I let go of the button, and I peeked to my left, and he wasn't there. And I was like, "Yep, we have 1 horsepower force."
Welcome to the Thunder Road Show, Lyle Barnett. How does it feel to not only be a $10,000 winner, but a movie star?
Oh, come on. So good, man. It was a lot of fun, but it was hard fought. I've gotten a lot of calls about, oh, you guys were sandbagging.
Oh yeah, I got you. I texted you that after the first qualifying
right.
pass.
No, man, we actually struggled off the trailer. We went like 920s, lifting at the 8th, and we were like, oh, dude, in the back. This is easy. This is not a problem. But from there on out, we knocked the tires every time we went to the starting line, and we couldn't figure it out. And it turns out the front brakes were locked up. We pushed it with a push vehicle, so nobody ever pushed it by hand. We didn't realize that there was a problem. We found it 20 minutes before the final.
Oh, my God.
And so Bigun, Pete Harrell, Jason Smith, and Chad, they were all ripping the tires off or the wheels and tires off, and we were trying to figure it out. And they're calling. So I put my suit on. I get in the car and put the belts on. They drop the car down, push us to the staging lanes. There were a couple pairs left, but we spooled up, staged up, and I left the wank. Good God Almighty! The tree landed on the hood of his car, I think. I cut it off ground level.
Oh wow! So it was pretty amazing that you come out and you go 920 and nobody goes faster than 11-second quarter mile time.
Right. So we were like, damn, I mean, letting out at the 8th, that's pretty good. It was on track to go like a 840 or something like that, or 850, probably something on that pass. And then from then on out, we were knocking the tires off. So, like, when we went to the final, on the 920 pass, we left at like 4,000. In the final, we left at 3,400.
Oh, my God.
Because we thought that was our problem,
Yeah. Wow.
But all the drama that unfolded, sorry, I'm about to get the car and go and take my sister to dinner.
Yeah, tell your sister happy birthday.
I will.
Tell her you're big time now. You got to do media interviews on the way to you.
But prior to that run, we just had no idea. We knocked it, in the dirt to try to get down the racetrack.
Yeah.
And ended up going, 851 in the final, which I had to be honest, I said it in my live video, I had no idea rolling into the water box what the car was going to do. I had zero confidence it was even going to leave the starting line. We'd been fighting troubles. I thought the stator was rolled over, something stupid. And I let go of the button, and I peeked to my left, and he wasn't there. And I was like, yep, we have 1 horsepower force. We haven't even hit the 60 foot. But so I'm not used to hand shifting anything. Pretty much everything I drive is air shifted. So Pete had been telling me, like, dude, you got to shift early. Like, don't bounce this thing off the limiter. We got a 35 jet on this thing. So I reached over and grabbed the shifter when it didn't spin, and I went from first to third. Instead of first, second to third. So it killed. I mean, I think Pete estimated it probably would have went 830 something if I'd have made the 1-2 shift.
Wow, how nice is that? A guy who grew up with only air shifters.
Yeah, right.
I was banging gears, pushing clutches when I was a little kid. But that's pretty cool. You've had a cool experience. And what did it feel like? I mean, imagine, hi, how you doing? Imagine at the beginning of this, you thought, okay, is this going to be a crap production? When they first came to you, there's a lot of offers and a lot of people talking about doing this kind of stuff. And then you're like, is these guys for real? And then here you are, you've won it. It's been so well received. Is it surreal?
Yeah, I mean, like the production team and stuff for Horsepower Wars did a fantastic job. Sorry, she's going to drive on more guys. It was, I mean, they did a very professional following us around and capturing the right moments throughout the show. James Lawrence, night shift there, and even the camera guys who were just kids at the racetrack. Hardly anything like that in my life. Cameras in your face all the time, and capturing what was going on, but yet again not being in your way. And I didn't realize that, to be honest, that Power Auto Media did so much, really reality TV style show involved stuff, and I think they did a fantastic job. The episodes they've released so far of the build have shown a lot of the high points. There's some stuff that I'm not going to say I was disappointed, but just that I wish that would have been in there. Some of the shit talking and stuff that went on during the builds and stuff. But coming up this week, actually starting tonight, Team Bodie's episode. They're doing team-specific episodes tonight, tomorrow night, Thursday night, and Friday night. And the episodes are just based solely on one team. And ours, Team Bigun, is Thursday. So this week is that, and then October the 4th will be the final episode. It will show the race and the drama that unfolded. And I wish I could go into that tonight, but I can't. But Sunday was like, honestly, about halfway through the afternoon, I pulled James Lawrence to the side and said, I'm not freaking having fun anymore. Like, this is unbelievable. I mean, Melissa here, my girlfriend beside me, was on it. Like, everybody was just spun out. It was crazy. But I think they're probably going to have a 2-hour-long show to show it all. But, dude, it was nuts. And October the 4th, I don't care unless you've got something, just the presidential election to go to, you need to tune into that because it is unbelievable.
I can't wait to see it. I've been watching all the episodes, and it seems to me that clearly from the start your team had the advantage, teamwork-wise, and just knowing what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And,
right, and I've kind of keyed on that a couple times, that myself, Bigun, Pete, and Bailey, like, we work together day in and day out. I mean, that's like we do stuff together every single day. We all work on each other's cars. I mean, Bigun owns a chassis shop. Pete Harrell owns Harrell Engine and Dyno, also known as HED. So and our shops neighbor each other, and we work together every day. So rolling into California was just another day at the shop for us. We were just 2,500 miles from home.
Right.
We added Jason Smith and Chad Reynolds, and they molded and fit. They fit right in. There was never any, the problem with the Dream Team was there were too many Chiefs and not enough Indians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody had an opinion, and it was a strong one. And there were several times that you could tell. I mean, it was blatantly obvious that they were having problems because everybody had an opinion on what was going on with the car at that time. And that was never a problem for us. Bigun made 100% of the chassis calls. Pete made 100% of the engine calls and the power management. And there were no questions asked. If Bigun said this needed to be done to the chassis, that's what got done.
Yeah.
If Pete said, no, I would rather do this to the motor, okay, cool.
Well, I think that's
and I walked around and handed them sockets and wrenches and water, and and they talked. Dwayne's talked about that a couple of times about how I didn't do anything on the car and blah blah blah, and I never claimed to. Yeah, he's right. I didn't have a whole lot to do with any of the hard labor and fabrication of the car because that wasn't my job. My job was to leave him sitting at the Christmas tree in the final on Sunday, and that's exactly what I did.
That's awesome. Well said, man. I tell you, and I could agree that y'all had y'all's defined roles going in. Chad and Jason just fit like a glove and knew their roles, and the lack of ego and the fact that y'all went into it as a beer drinking team. Probably y'all like, hey, we're gonna just have fun with this and go with it. It's gonna be a cool deal to experience. And
they were worried about the right shit.
Yeah, you were worried about the right shit. Y'all seemed to just fit right away, and you could tell y'all were having fun.
I mean, Bigun and Bailey, they do fab work and stuff together daily. I mean, Bailey has a full-time job during the day, and then he comes to Bigun's in the afternoon, and they work until 8 or 9 at night every night. And Bailey is an excellent fabricator. He is good with a welder. If Bigun wants something done, he just kind of vaguely tells Bailey what he wants to do, and Bailey makes it happen. So the chassis work was just it was crazy, like a sewing machine. When they would cut the bars or cut the plates or fit this, it was welded in, and bam, we were on to the next thing. And Pete was kind of on his own on the motor deal, but that's kind of the way he wanted it. Something that had to happen quick. We had a 10-day time limit, a very small budget. Pete kind of wanted it all to be on him. He wanted to make sure that he was the one behind every nut and bolt and every torque spec, and made sure that he made all the calls. And, we see how it worked out. It was perfect. That thing it had 62 pounds of oil pressure going through the stripe on the last run with an F-body oil panel.
Wow.
It was our team. I saw a couple hashtags today throughout, people talking about this deal. You guys were the quote unquote dream team, and I really don't think you could have assembled a better group of guys that worked together the way that we did. Mm-hmm. We all, just like you've both said tonight, we all had our specific roles, and that's the way it happened. And man, I can't say enough about about the team that I do it.
Is she speeding?
But I
Sorry.
I can't say enough about the guy behind me on the start. I'm just the one with the buttons. It's those guys that put in the work and gave me something winner circle worthy. And they've done it. They do it for me day in and day out, week in and week out, in any car that I get in. Bigun does most of the fab work on the tooth jerker specifically. Michael Magdaw's Mag Fab work, he did a lot of the chassis work on it too. But as far as chassis tuning is concerned, Bigun does all of that for me. And there was never a doubt in my mind that we would end up where we were. Pete Harold does all of the engine management and engine work for any car that I drive, and there was never a doubt in my mind that he would give me a tune-up that could win. It was just my job to go up there, stage the car, and cut a light, and everything came together.
Hey, man, to be honest with you, when I first saw the team, I thought y'all were the ringers. Nothing against these other guys. Those are very qualified. Big Daddy Dwayne Gosher's a legend in drag radial racing, and, Bodie has worked very hard in his program, and Dean in his, but I just looked at it like, these are drag radial guys that go hardcore and know how to party too. So it's not gonna.
Some of them partied a little too much.
If you called Disco Dean tonight, he would be the first to admit that a radial tire is like German to him.
Yeah.
Never really been on one, and tuning something on gasoline. Mm-hmm. And he told me this personally, and he would say it right now, like all of this was foreign language to him. And I think overall they deserved the most impressive award. Because they came in there with an unknown combination, something that none of us thought would even make eliminations. And they were the first to the 8s.
Yeah.
And the number 1 qualifier.
What was the number to the 8th?
What was the best?
He went 898 or 896 to be the first to the 8s.
Yeah. Wow.
And we didn't go an 8 until the final. But like I said, because of the issues that we had after the first pass that we didn't find until 20 minutes before the final, that is the reason we didn't go an 8 before that. You've seen the time slip. That thing went 138 to the 60 foot, and I made the 1-3 shift about 50 foot. So,
trying to short shift it, right?
Yeah.
Like honestly, in no shit, it would have probably went 830, maybe a bottom 30 at 170. I think if I would have.
Nice.
Hit the 1-2 instead of the 1.
What is that to the 8th mile?
That's all speculation.
What is that to the 8th mile?
550 or so, probably.
Well, it went 551 that pass, so I think it would have went 540
Yeah.
545 or so.
Sweet.
Maybe a bottom 40 if I would have made the 1-2.
Now, what kind of workouts and mind control and yoga shit did you have to do to keep your foot on the gas pedal past the 8th mile?
Well, that's, until I ran Bodie, I hadn't ran it past the 8th mile yet, because that's just the way that Pete is a very conservative tuner, and he knew that if we can make it to the 8th mile, that the tune up after that, you're just riding past there.
Yeah.
I'm in high gear. It's got the throttle blades wide open, but the first time I went to the quarter mile, or I was counting blocks, like, okay, there's the 330, that's mile an hour, 8th mile. Oh, that's 1,000 foot, and I had to make sure I was getting out of the gas in time, because that car didn't stop so well. So had 1985 or 86 model drum brakes on the rear. So,
170? No, I probably didn't stop
right.
there.
And then in the final round, and I'm known for this, because I did it in the tooth jerker when we won the last leaf spring shootout in Georgia. I get the shootout, but then I'm like squirming around, fist pumping and stuff, like screaming. And I'm sure the in-car GoPro footage is great. But when I finally cleared up and was looking, I'm like, damn, that is my last chance to turn off this racetrack. So I just buried 2 feet in the brake pedal and came off the track. Fucking come around the corner and everybody's cheering and stuff. But
at least you didn't go in the sand traps.
Yeah, that's what I told Pete. I was like, well, my only option after that was to stuff it in the sand, and I figured I wouldn't look good in the winter circle.
No.
What's the plans with the car now?
Run the absolute dog piss out of that thing.
That's what I like to hear.
Take it on the road, man. Do exhibitions with it.
Well, so we're gonna take it to our little local track Thursday night, Mooresville Dragway.
Yeah.
Those guys are big supporters of us and followed us and cheered us on along the way. So we're gonna take it there and set it up, sell T-shirts,
cool,
and hang out. But I'm actually taking it to South Georgia.
Nice.
I'm gonna load it up on my most rinky-dink open trailer I can find, and just tape the nose up with duct tape, keep bugs from flying in the turbo.
Yeah.
And I think we're actually gonna try. Well, we know we can do it. I want to try to go a 7 in the 8th mile there early in the week with it, just to prove that, and not change a thing. Like, we put it in the shop today. When I got to the winter circle, I let Jason Smith of TBM Brakes drive it into the winter circle, because he's from California and isn't going to get to see the car that much. So I let him drive it in the winter circle. And he drove a little far, so I was like, well, just put it in reverse and back it up. But the reverse didn't work. Put it first and hold the trans brake. And it kept rolling. I'm like, damn, it picked a good time to quit right after the final.
Yeah, no shit.
So we brought it to the shop today and jacked it up, looking for the problem, and couldn't find anything. I fired it up, stuck it in reverse, and grabbed the trans brake, and the wheels turned backwards. So whatever. I guess Trailer Midget fixed that one.
All right.
But we're gonna take it to Georgia and try to go a 7.
In the quarter, you go
actually
run it out the back door.
Do what?
You gonna run it out the back door at Georgia?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, but
full
they
quarter
don't.
mile. I have to turn the quarter mile parts on.
Yeah. That's cool.
But so there's a little local class in North Carolina. It's called LS Renegades. They run a stock, pretty much a full stock LS, like a sealed type motor.
Yeah.
And then like there's a 71 millimeter turbo limit, a Pro Charger limit. They can run so much nitrous. They're a 550 to 540 class.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I had a motor already semi-built for that class. I was going to put in another car, but now that we have won the Horsepower Wars 10K drag shootout with beer money, and it's already set up for all that, we're going to enter it into LS Renegade for the end of the year, and then probably keep it in LS Renegade trim unless we're going to go run some other stuff somewhere else. But I'm going to just run it in our local LS class because it fits it so well.
That's cool.
Sweet.
Now I got to ask you. I've been meaning to ask you this, thinking about it. How is your house and your family and everything? Y'all got hit by the hurricane while you were gone.
Yeah. So the eastern, Melissa and I live just outside of Charlotte, and we didn't get a whole lot here, but my parents, where I grew up, my parents' houses and the eastern part of the state got freaking hammered, dude. It's like I grew up in a small community called High Falls, North Carolina, and the bridge that goes over the main river there is probably 50 to 60 feet to the riverbed, and it nearly came over the bridge yesterday.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
And so it's it's rough, man, especially out towards the coast. There's people camped out on their roofs that decided to wait out the storm, which they mandatory evacuation, and some people I get it.
Yeah. We dealt with it with Harvey, and people typically when you're on an airboat, you're pulling bodies from the roofs. I mean, pulling them out of the attics, having to break into the roofs to get them out.
Yeah.
And and right now it's far from over. There's still a lot of flooding. There's power outages just across the state. I mean, it's a sad deal, but my family, our families, everybody's good. Everybody's safe.
That's good.
No major flooding in any of our families' houses or anything. So we're all good. But prayers for those that were affected. State got hit pretty hard. So
yes, sir.
A lot of cleanup to be done. My dad actually couldn't make it. I've never won without my dad at the track. And we've won together. We've won 20 some odd races in my career, and he wasn't there this weekend because his company does some cleanup stuff. They specialize in underground infrastructure, and so they were helping with the cleanup out east. And Dad decided to stick behind and hang with his guys, which was the right thing to do. But I definitely missed him at the track. I never won without him, so it was tough him not being there.
Yeah, I understand. Well, hey, man, we're glad they're all in good shape, and you got to be looking forward to going to South Georgia Motorsports Park this weekend.
Yeah, we are. We just
next weekend,
almost just about finished with the dark motor. It will be going in, which Jason Digby's probably watching. Like, why hasn't Lyle texted me today? But I'm sorry, buddy. The motor is almost done. It'll be going in at the latest Thursday. We're going to get everything buttoned up, and then head to Darlington Dragway either this weekend or Monday, get some pre-Georgia testing in, load the rig up, and head south.
Very cool. And you're going to run LDR this year?
LDR, yep. Our goal is to run some 4.0s in the Leaf Spring Hot Rod. That's where the class is headed. Justin Martin, Daniel Ferris, Jody Voiles, Shane Stack, we're all Scott Husted. We're all right there in the bottom teens, just a click away from busting into the O's, and I think it's probably a little rat race to get there.
Yeah.
Might be a race to the staging lanes, right?
Right. But between the two Pete Harrell built HED hot rods that are in the top 3 of the fastest LDR passes ever made, I think it'll be a tight race between us, Daniel, Scott, and Jody, and Shane as well. It's going to be a crowd. I wouldn't even know where to put my money.
I know, right?
If I was going to bet who would be the first of the O's, I just don't think I would bet at all, because it's, there's a Vegas odds would be pretty spread out through those 5, I think, or 6. So
yeah.
But we're excited. We got a new motor, basically a new motor in the Dart. Got rid of that cast block. Got a nice Brad Anderson billet block that Pete Harrell and all the guys at HED have constructed and graphed these Predator heads to. So we're excited, man. I'm itching, chomping at the bit to get to South Georgia. It's going to be weird getting out of a 550 8-mile car and into one that's going to potentially run 4.0s. I'm going to have to make sure my depends is good and tight.
Hey, it's like taking a break from party favors and adult beverages for a while. Then when you go back to it, it's like a better rush.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm going to have to get reacquainted with my buttons and make sure that I stay in it.
That thing will have your attention right away, I bet.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah, when that thing, I'll have to make sure my head's pressed back against the seat and break my neck when I let go of the trans brake the first time.
Got it.
Well, Kawhi, man, congratulations on all the success. It was a big deal, and it's been fun to watch, and I'm super proud of you, dude.
I appreciate it, Doug, and I'm very serious when I say you need to tune in to this last episode, because it is something spectacular. If you're paying attention to what's going on Facebook and stuff. The Dream Team guys are crying about how they got cheated and this, that, and the other. And, you know, I wish I could fill everybody in and just tell the story, but I'll let the show do that because that's what the show is
Maybe
for.
we'll have to have him after he wins Georgia, and we'll talk about that and the show too.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about going to winning LDR at South Georgia and all that good stuff. So we'll just have a recap.
Yes, for
Boom.
sure.
Done.
Cool. Well, hey,
But
man, y'all
again,
two.
I'd like to thank Motion Raceworks, Doug Cook and Andy Cook. They sponsored our way to California to build Beer Money. Brian Neal and all the guys at Line to Line, Abradable Powder Coatings, they sponsored our way. And Jason Smith and Randy and the guys at TBM Brakes, they sponsored our way to California. Without those guys, we couldn't have done what we did. Most of them, the owners of Line to Line, Doug and Andy Cook and Jason from TBM, were in California, or were in Norwalk with us this past weekend for the big 10K Horsepower War Shootout win. So, you know, it was cool, man. There was a lot of our friends and family there, and got to experience that, you know, that win with us, and it meant a lot, man. It was, you know, it was a bit emotional there for a little bit, you know, but we had a good time. It was a lot of work. And again, I just can't thank my team enough, dude. I try to say it as much as I can. Sometimes maybe don't say it enough, but, you know, at the end of the day, they gave me the hot rod to win. It was up to me to go in there and push the right buttons and let go of them one at the same time, and a lot sooner than Dwayne did. But, you know, we had a good time and came out on top. So Team Bigun and Beer Money brought home the 10K Drag Shootout Championship.
Hey, man, and congratulations, and from all of your fellow beer drinkers, salute.
That's right.
All right, well, if I get to make it down there to Georgia, we'll have one together.
Yes, sir. Come by and see me. You can sit in Beer Money. I'll let you fire it up. You just can't drive it. I don't trust you.
Hey, when I get the big block in the wagon, maybe we could do a little wagon versus Beer Money for publicity.
And you let me know, and I'll come to you.
All right.
Boom.
That'll happen. Let's
Done.
make it happen.
All right,
It'll be cool for
y'all have a good one.
publicity.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you, dude.